Welcome back, Red-Rupee here with you. Tonight, as always, I took a break from my wonder trading all night tonight and Pokemon Sun to bring you some Dawn of War 2 Elite Mind action. We're on patch 2.6 now, our first match of 2.6. One-on-one Calderis Refinery. On the blue side, we've got Mannoroth as the Chaos Lord. On the red side, Man of Faith as the Lord General. I don't often see the Lord General played in one-on-one, so I know despite the fact that we just did a great big old faction war style broadcast last week with these two races, I wanted to see these guys bring it in the one-on-one. Maybe the Imperial Guard players can redeem themselves, maybe not. The Chaos Lord is definitely a tough matchup, but maybe with some of these new balance tweaks, it'll be a little more even up for the Lord General. I more often see the Commissar and the Inquisitor played in one-on-one anyway, so I'm excited to see the Lord General get some play, and Tex, who is Man of Faith here, always brings some good one-on-one play anyway, so I'm interested to see how he plays the Lord General and what he brings to the table. Some pretty basic capping all around, no one playing too aggressively, just capping their back line and now moving into the center. The Lord General taking that central VP to put a little pressure on early, and the Chaos Lord just doing what he does best, knocking stuff over and scaring off tiny little humans. Or tiny little anything, really. Anything that he is about 3 times the size of otherwise. But the Sarge is on the field now, and they brought something big of their own. Big and armored with big stompy feet to kind of put the stall on that Chaos Lord's advance. He's just breaking more stuff. Really, they should just be angry that he's ruining all of the aesthetics of this map. But, Lord General now punching away at some Chaos Space Marines. He will hold out there for a while. He'll lose that fight eventually, but he's just stalling for time, making sure they can't shoot up those Guardsmen while they kite around that great big Chaos Lord and buy some time. Chaos Space Marines now moving in to engage and make sure they can tie up those Guardsmen, and a second squad now on the field for Mannoroth. Everything getting decapped on the far side of the map as the Heretics kind of maneuvering around, pushed back that first squad of Guardsmen infantry. Now the second squad getting perilously low. They're trying to kite around, but they don't want to get on the wrong side of those Chaos Space Marines while they're falling back here. Second squad of Space Marines on the field and healthy. The Sentinel over here getting a little patch job, but the Guardsmen aren't going to be able to stay around here much longer, and that Sentinel is going to be pretty well beat up. Has it used its stomp? I think it already has. Guardsmen finally deciding to fall back, but even if they get a single Chaos Space Marine here, they'll of course be just about even up. The Lord General in Tier 1 is actually a pretty difficult hero to mess with so long as the player controlling him manages to kind of choose to engage correctly, because everything on the field more or less can kind of heal up, so especially once he gets his sergeant for himself and he can dole out med packs. He can heal up his squads, and of course the squads themselves can heal up the Sentinel with some repair, and the Lord General himself can reinforce his retinue on the field. So everything out here has some real solid sustainability as far as the Tier 1 presence goes, so long as you choose to engage in a way that doesn't force you to retreat.
Mine is the will of the
Of course, a good answer to that is suppression. You can lock down a squad and force it off the map, so Havocs are on the field for Mannoroth right now. Everything just kind of little skirmishes here, and they're little scuffles back and forth. Nothing really definitive on either side. Heretics were waiting for the Gen Bash over here that never came. One generator now going down, 2 already up for Man of Faith, but a contested node going up on this side of the map. The other one getting decapped by the Chaos Lord himself, already down by about 115 points here as he finally moves into the center to decap that point. Man of Faith bought himself a lot of time there, keeping things tied up in the middle, and now Catachin Devils on the field. These guys do come out with their Demo Man already purchased now, and his, I think, added HP and abilities were unchanged. They're essentially the same squad, they just come with that upgrade already on the field. Those Havocs got knocked over by Reliable. These Catachins doing some work. Guardsmen infantry falling back. And shots just getting exchanged all over the place. One Catachin does fall. Both of the Chaos Space Marine squads are approaching from the right side there, and the Havocs are trying to get back into position despite these heretics getting maybe a little too brazen against those Catachin devils.
Forces obey you. Let the slaughter begin.
All is quiet for the time being. The Chaos Space Marines moving forward, maybe looking for a gen bash of their own. Chaos Lord coming up from the rear to support this lone sentinel. Is not going to be able to take the firepower from both of those squads, especially if that Chaos Lord gets in there and starts harassing that Lord General. A full gen farm down here for the taking, but I think the Guardsmen will be able to get out here before much longer and start defending this. They do have that increased rate of repair, so they can fix up that sentinel just about as quickly as it takes fire from one Space Marine squad, but both squads is a bit much for them to start repairing. They even managed to take out a Chaos Space Marine model right there. Havoc's moving in again, but very low on health, but the Old Reliable lands correctly here. Oh, and he goes just over. Whenever you're firing an arcing weapon downhill, you have to aim a little ahead of that position. We saw they kind of overshot just a bit. If he would have targeted just in front of that, he would have nailed them. It's always something to keep in mind when you're dealing with anything that has a firing arc like that and different heights on terrain. Meanwhile, Catachins managed to get a flank after the Lord General kind of sacrificed a couple of retinue members there to get in on that, but these... Oh man, these Chaos Space Marines have to be very careful retreating through these Catachins. They do that power melee damage and attack pretty quickly. They could probably have taken out another model there if they'd gotten into position, but a good job with positioning on Man of Faith's part right now. Forcing off both of those squads, not even really having to fight too hard, but just kind of threatening in the retreat path with those Catachin devils. Both players now heading into Tier 2. With full gen farms, a lot of power on the side of the Chaos player here, 64 to 49. Having those extra contested points always manages to start racking up if they lay in one player's hands over the others. Havoc's getting fixed up here. Only a single Chaos Space Marine went down there, which is good. I think they managed to get one, or... No, I guess they didn't get that one. It was just the one Catachin, I guess, from the previous engagement. Didn't manage to take out any power, though. That was a good hold there from Man of Faith, who otherwise could have lost a gen farm in addition to that sentinel that went down there. Some decapping going down on the back line. Everything's quiet for just a moment as the Havocs move into position to try to prevent that central spot from going down there. Some improvised explosives going down those IEDs that the Catachins place, specifically in a retreat path right here, so the next squad of Chaos Space Marines or Heretics that maybe want to go looking for a gen bash might have a little trouble on that retreat. Man of Faith going for the Chimera assault or support vehicle there. It's a transport. Got to be able to allow these Guardsmen infantry and the Catachins themselves to reinforce on the field, of course. And I'm not sure what Mannoroth's going for here. Let's see, what purchases have we seen in Tier 2? Any? Is he actually that low on... I feel like we should have seen something else at this point, but I guess there haven't been any purchases. I may be misjudging the amount of requisition that he does. Oh wait, he put down more generators? He has to be going for a Dreadnought if that's the case. I don't know why else he would want that much power. Currently getting almost 80 power per minute right now. Just waiting on requisition really. I mean, he has so much power income, but he doesn't have now the requisition to really back it up. Catachin Devils making short work of these heretics over here. They do fall back. And all of the Chaos Space Marines, much beefier, are going to go over and lay down some fire on these Catachins. Stuck out here in the open right now. They just blew one of their knockback abilities, so I'm not sure they've got it available. But now we're seeing the Chimera on the field, which the Chaos Space Marines have no answer to at all right now. These Havocs, let's see, will they be getting upgraded, or will he be relying on solely that Chaos Dreadnought for an anti-vehicle occupant? He can, of course, upgrade that to the Mark of Siege, which makes it a very powerful anti-vehicle walker. Chaos Space Marines now taking lots of fire, and now the Lord General out here to start stabbing at them with that power sword. Oh, manages to take out one of them, piercing that heavy infantry armor on retreat. Just enough to finish off that last model there. Chaos Lord looking pretty beat up himself, and both heroes, I think, are they both sitting vanilla right now? No extra retinue members, no weapons, no armor. Everyone just playing vanilla. Chimera, oh, is the Chimera upgrading to the mobile base here, so I don't think, can the Chimera actually unupgrade from that? Yeah, okay, that's what it does. It allows the Chimera to set up as a mobile base, and I don't remember, I believe you can de-set up from this. You can kind of reposition at will. I don't know if there's a cooldown associated with that or not. I have been out of the game a bit, so I don't want to make assumptions of things may have changed or may not have, but this will allow him to retreat to this relay beacon, reinforce on the field, so he can kind of just hang out here. He put after getting that Chimera on the field, he put everything into these Guardsmen infantry. He has commissars out here, he's got plasma rifles. It's going to be very harrowing for all these heavy infantry squads out here suddenly, with this plasma squads on the field. Both of these fully upgraded Guardsmen, they are only level 1, so they're not too beefy yet, but they can still take quite a bit of damage. These Chaos Space Marines are going to have to do everything they can to approach from the right positions, make sure they can stick to that cover and not take the full brunt of these plasma rifles right now. That being said, they don't even have far to retreat. They're just going to kind of fall back, reinforce, heal up a bit, and then get back out onto the field. This Siege Dreadnought, though, is a big threat to this Chimera right now. Victory points have since evened up just about. 350 to 350 almost even up, and now the relay beacon under fire right now. Does it matter to attack the relay beacon first, or should you just hit the Chimera? I'm not sure on that, actually, but now the Lord General just laying down fire all over the place, pressuring that Chaos Havoc squad, upgraded with the Mark of Siege right now, but Stormtrooper squad coming out here, upgraded with the anti-vehicle kit, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to save this Chimera with the Siege Dread on it, and it already looking very low on health. Just that claw alone, even at melee range, is going to be a lot. Down goes the vehicle. This might be a trade, though. The Melta Bomb goes down, and the Chaos Dreadnought, between the Melta on those Catachin Devils and even all the plasma. I believe the Lord General Meltas actually got upgraded a little bit, too. Oh, man, these Chaos Space Marines sitting almost directly on top of that improvised explosive. This could be nasty if they choose to retreat. Let the Galaxy Burn goes down, though. Right direct hit on top of all of those Guardsmen. Look at it just... Oh my gosh, is that squad? That squad doesn't even get to retreat. Took out a squad completely with that ability. Sent the other one looking pretty rough. Improvised explosives go down. Catachin's moving into position to try to finish the squad off. I don't think it's quite going to be enough, but maybe I spoke too soon. 70 HP retreating now. Those Meltas on the Lord General got a slight range increase, if I remember correctly, but it wasn't quite enough to finish the squad. Catachins can tangle in melee, but they're looking pretty rough, and you've seen that Bloodlust go down. Man of Faith had no choice but to retreat or risk losing that very expensive squad. That being said, I think trading a Chimera for an upgraded Siege Dreadnought, I think that's a positive trade in the favor of Man of Faith right now. Oh man, and he's just gonna bring both players bring in those vehicles right back onto the field, not even hesitating to stick with what they had going so far. But I think with Man of Faith losing his one squad of Guardsmen in that engagement from that Let the Galaxy Burn that just bullseyed that squad, I think he kind of hesitated, wasn't sure if he had to get out of there, and it unfortunately cost him the squad. But the Chaos are looking pretty good in this upcoming engagement, if you were to ask me. I think without that second squad, without that additional anti-heavy infantry, the two squads of Chaos Space Marines will be enough to kind of hold out against what's on the field. Although everything is starting to get leveled up, wow, these Chaos Space Marines already level 3, both squads of them, and now getting upgraded with, oh man, the Mark of Khorne. I was kind of expecting the Mark of Siege, but that Mark of Khorne is going to make them a lot quicker, make them able to close the gap, and without the support of any anything to really scare off this melee. I guess the only thing they have are those Catachan Devils, which of course do have 2 knockback options and can slow the advance of Khorne Marines like that. But if they get in, that's still not anything that the Catachans can deal with.
Your generators.
Man of Faith, learning his lesson after that last squad going down, immediately retreats upon seeing that Let the Galaxy Burn ability. Chimera set up right in the exact same spot, really looking to lock down the center part of the map with that forward base of operations. We now see, what is this, the Carapace armor, which grants suppression immunity for, is that 10 seconds? 15 seconds? 15 seconds. That's quite an ability. There isn't much in the ways of suppression right now with the exception of Doomblast. Stormtroopers managed to get a nice little gen bash in on that central spot, but find themselves on the wrong side of some power axes here. Let's see if this improvised explosives managed to do anything. He doesn't blow them. I guess because the squad was at full health, maybe looking to get a squad kill later on, or maybe get some model kills of some sort or another. Catachans falling back, these Khorne Marines can actually do some pretty reasonable damage to this. We're seeing them just hack through this Chimera right now. It's trying to unset up, but the Siege Dreadnought's back on the field. Khorne Worship now leading the charge with that Dreadnought. Chimera in a lot of trouble. There's a heavy weapon squad, but it wasn't ready to be set up, though. Chimera goes down, the second one to go down now in this game. This could be the second Dreadnought as the Melta goes down as well, but there's plenty out here. Let's see. Oh my gosh. 13 HP that Khorne squad of Space Marines escapes with just barely. But I don't think this Dreadnought's getting out once again. Malignant Blindness goes down, but it doesn't matter. The Lord General was there to keep eyes on that Walker. The Walker goes down. Blood Letters are on the field to put some pressure out here as well. Both players lose their vehicles again, but no squads went down, if I'm looking at the units cards correctly. Oh man, these obstinate demons just aren't even concerned in the face of danger. Guardsmen getting pushed back once again. We've seen the Chaos Lord. I think he's a little easier to take down now with the Armor of the Inferno. That took a bit of a nerf. I think it offers less health, and it doesn't offer any health regen anymore, if I remember the patch notes correctly. It's sitting there. All that armor offers now is that, specifically, that Let the Galaxy Burn ability, which is, as we've seen, nothing to scoff at. Catachan Devils laying in improvised explosives. Khorne Marines recognized what was going down there and decided not to approach. Now, a couple bombs on 2 flanking positions, and of course the point itself. Those bombs have been going down all over the place. Haven't seen them have too much of an impact, but they did knock some Space Marines around earlier on. It looks like with that Chimera down, the Chaos Havocs are going to try to sneak around and get some more power. They got that generator, which has yet to be rebuilt for Man of Faith over there.
One of our generators is under attack.
But at this stage of the game, oh wow, we see a heavy turret now down on the field.
From whence will you draw power now?
There's really not a lot of anti-vehicle. I guess that las cannon, those Khorne Havocs could take it down if they get into the right position. But those turrets can be pretty nasty if they get supported well. So we've got a heavy weapon squad out here with an autocannon. We've got a heavy turret as well. Catachan's out here. Finally got that Sarge on that Lord General for some healing support on the field. Chaos Havoc's blasting away with that las cannon on some power on the back line, though. Managed to blast the node down. Stormtroopers were trying to get out of position so that they could maneuver around and maybe sneak back onto that power, but the Chaos Lord wasn't having it. He was going to hunt them down. He can smell the blood, man. Another generator down. Catachan's moving to engage the Havocs. Meanwhile, Let the Galaxy Burn goes down, and Khorne Marines moving in on the Lord General. A second heavy turret down here in the center of the map, along with that autocannon blasting away. Khorne Marines probably wisely choose to head back out of there as the Chaos Lord retreats as well. Catachan's managed to just narrowly miss the squad kill on those Havocs. Quick response by Mannoroth likely saved that squad as it was trying to finish off that gen bash. Still sitting with just a single generator as Mannoroth heads into tier 3, and a Manticore coming down. Oh, this is some serious lockdown play from the Lord General. So we've got two heavy turrets, one with the Executioner here in the center, and then of course explosives all over the place. On top of that, we're going to have rockets raining down from the sky here shortly. In addition to the autocannon, I think the autocannons for all races, I think both the Khorne autocannon and the autocannon here took a slight decrease in damage. A bunker coming down now as well. I'm assuming that would be a mid bunker. I'd expect to see it reinforcing squads on the field. Catachin's caught a bit out of position once again. Looking a bit rough right there. Lost at least one or two models. I don't think that was them though right there. I think they lost them earlier. Need to get back. And oh man, so we've got a Chaos Predator coming out here. A bit questionable considering how much anti-vehicle... Oh, okay, he canceled that. I was going to say, with how much anti-vehicles on the field, I wouldn't really expect to see a Predator as the next purchase. But Mannoroth's sitting on so much resources. I guess I could see a Land Raider coming in here. A Land Raider would actually be able to take this kind of abuse and probably take out these turrets, which can't really maneuver well on their own. Mannoroth even calling out how many turrets are on the field, and actually a good flank coming in here from the back. This could force the hand of the Chaos player. That said, it's a triple cap against him. It's 170 to 276 right now. Khorne Marines now trying to decap the point, but decided against it at the last moment. We've got Heretics coming in from the opposing side. Two melee threats coming in. The Catachins managed to knock back the Khorne Marines, buying some time for those turrets to do their work, forcing them off now. Heretics in a lot of trouble, managed to put a little pressure on that autocannon, but that's not quite gonna be enough. Chaos Havocs on the far side. Good attack from all angles, and now this heavy turret with the Executioner cannon doesn't have the range to deal with these Chaos Havocs on the far side here. Manticore Strike coming down, forcing off the Chaos Space Marines. One more shot is all it takes to finish off that turret. Oh, and it just kind of disappears. It didn't really explode correctly. No one look at that. It's fine. It's not a bug. It's a feature. Chaos Lord moving in. Oh, man, and the Great Unclean One is what we're going to see on the field as the Tier 3 purchase for our Chaos player, man. The biggest, the ugliest, and the most stinky I can only imagine. Great Unclean One coming out here. Failed decap going down here as Let the Galaxy Burn forces off that squad of infantry. A quick execution will teach those folks to stay in line, not be afraid of a little bit of fire. Not if the Commissar has anything to say about it. Lord General, along with those Catachins, putting down some real hurt on this Chaos Lord. Look at that. His health just dropped in the blink of an eye. I don't think he's getting home either. He goes down. Khorne Marines moving in on the back line with the support of some Chaos Space Marines, now level 4. And a blood sacrifice going down on these Heretics, bringing some demons onto the field to help tie up those Catachin Devils. This could be a pretty nice route, and it's definitely what the Chaos Lord needs, because he's down under 100 victory points to 276, and the Lord General's still locked down, just camping out in the middle here. I don't think there's a better hero to do it, because man, oh man, between the turret, the Manticore, that bunker, and the autocannon, this is a tricky spot to approach. I think Mannoroth's had the right idea. He's been flanking really well, but he just didn't quite support and time his attack the way he needed to last time. He kind of was going in with one squad at a time, and it was allowing him to isolate those squads and kind of push off what would otherwise be a pretty excellent flank. Lord General now stuck up here against the Great Unclean One all by himself right now. And I've lost my cursor. My cursor's completely gone. What's going on here? This is horrible. Okay, we're back. Everything's good. Don't mind me. 38 to 276. Great Unclean One moving in now. Taking the brunt of all this firepower. If anything can do it, it's this beefy guy right here. It's going to take a lot of shells to get through all that fat. 26 to 276. Chaos needs to get the decap on that center point, though. It's kind of just messing around. Oh man, that vomit just ripping apart that heavy artillery squad, that heavy weapon squad, rather. Manticore Strike trying to prevent that decap, but they're out of position. Those heretics on the far side gonna be able to lock that down. Great Unclean One still charging forward. And now, oh man, the Manticore is actually under a bit of stress right now, getting hunted down. Those pistols on those Khorne Marines can actually do some pretty excellent anti-vehicle damage. I'd be surprised to see there might be enough firepower to rout these Khorne Marines. Trying to finish off that Manticore, but unable to do so. Much to their chagrin, I'm sure. When you're down to 13 victory points, the last thing you want on the field is a Manticore, which can so easily prevent decaps. Luckily, the Chaos player managed to grab that center victory point and is starting to get some VPs down here, getting at least trying to get Man of Faith down to that halfway point, that 250 mark. And everything just kind of sitting tight while the Imperial Guard player tries to get things back together. Chaos Shrine going up here, that Shrine of Khorne. Gonna be spawning some bloodletters every 30 seconds or so. It's something like that. Constant threat of melee on the front line there. Imperial Guard bunker still up over here. Melted Bomb goes down, but those Stormtroopers by themselves aren't going to be enough. It looks like Man of Faith might actually be distracted right now. Manticore Strike's coming down, putting some hurt on that Great Unclean One. And we're seeing the Chaos Lord in a bit of trouble once again. Will they finish it off? The autocannon gets the parting shot right there, along with some explosive shells to knock back those heretics, which now can't approach either. Getting knocked in the air. 1, 2. Narrowly escaping with just a few models left. The Great Unclean One's in a bit of trouble. Been holding strong in the center here, now with 2 heavy weapons teams slowly inching forward once again. These Chaos Space Marines having a hard time holding off against all of these Guardsmen and their plasma rifles. Level 4 squad, but now that they're in that green cover, you never want to engage those Guardsmen out of cover if you can help it. In green cover, you can actually kind of hold pretty well against it, as we can see right there. Blood Sacrifice going down once again. But man, look at those demons just getting torn up. There's way too much firepower out here. Level 4 Catechins, level 5 Lord General, and level 4 Guardsmen Infantry. The Chaos needs to hold this point. There's no other option right now. He's trying to heal up that Great Unclean One with a bit of worship as fast as he can, but it's still taking forever. That thing has so much HP. 1 Khorne Shrine goes down, the second probably on the way. Using that flesh hook there to keep those Catechins from managing to capture. Really probably needs an autocannon of his own to kind of lay into this infantry wherever he can. Great Unclean One moving forward. The decap goes down from the Lord General. As those Khorne Marines have no choice but to retreat. The problem is this Great Unclean One's not going to last much longer. We have Marines, we have Chaos Space Marines in the Imperial Guard bunker. I wasn't even paying attention to that flank, but apparently it happened. Unfortunately, the Great Unclean One went down for the Chaos player, and these guys are stranded out here on their own, one even getting launched out of that garrison. Trying to do whatever they can, hopping back in now. But it's not going to work. Now down to just a couple models and deciding to get out of there before that bunker collapses on top of them. 167 to 13. And the Chaos player, who I thought had the advantage earlier, I guess losing those 2 Dreadnoughts back to back was a bit too much. I mean, even if he manages to push back these Imperial Guard, Man of Faith has over 1,000 requisitions so far. Let the Galaxy Burn doesn't even phase these Catechins. They had some healing packs on them. They took the fire, they healed it up, and they brought it back around. Lord General's finally going to go for that closing cap. He should be able to get it. He should be beefy enough at this point to stand up to even the Bloodletters moving in on him. That las cannon isn't enough of a deterrent. And once this decap goes, or once this capture goes down, I think that's going to be just about it for Mannoroth. I can't see anything that he's got on the field coming back out here right now to prevent this. And the last few VPs are going to tick down here, and the game is going to go to Man of Faith. Man, that was some serious play right there from the Lord General. Really locking down. I mean, the whole time he was just camped out here on this southeastern section of the map around that victory point in the center. Wow, that was brutal. What a nasty approach that was. Heavy turrets, heavy weapons teams, forward bases in the form of a pair of Chimeras. We had the bunker, the Manticore. This was some serious turtle play from the Lord General. That's exactly what I like seeing from the Lord General. It's tough. It's kind of tough to pull off in this game sometimes. I mean, Calderis Refiner is definitely one that you can do that on because it's nice and wide open. The central VP is right there. It's not a lot of easy ways to flank, but that said, Mannoroth was doing a great job. I didn't even see when those Chaos Space Marines managed to get in this bunker that first time, but I think just a little more coordination from his forces, and Mannoroth could have done that pretty well. Oftentimes I saw the Chaos Lord kind of moving in separately from the rest of the army there, and I don't know, it just wasn't quite working out for him, but that was a fun game. I like that. That's our first 2.6 game. There'll be plenty more to come. I think if you're watching this on Wednesday when it should be posted, that should be the day that Spacehawk Deathwing gets released, and it's assuming they don't push it back in the 11th hour again, so maybe I'm streaming that right now, so go look and see what's going on there. Otherwise, feel free to stick around, like, comment, subscribe. There's going to be more DoW2 videos coming shortly. This is Red Rupee. I'll catch you guys next time.